How's it going, guys? So, for this, I'm going to show you how I'm going to create the scene transitions. Ideally, no, ideally, you have two scenes, and we have an arrow that's not pointed in the right direction. So, we're just going to do this real quick. I know, these are beautiful arrows. Have you ever seen such lovely artwork? Anyways, so we need to be able to transition from this scene to this scene because you can only have your levels a certain size before it crashes Unity. And on top of that, you also have to worry about the render optimizations and things like that whenever you're making a Metroidvania-based game. So ideally, let's say I'm actually going to scale these down. And the reason why I'm going to do that, because I'm also going to create one over here. So let's say, hypothetically, we want to be, if we're in scene 1, we want to be able to go to 3, but we also want to be able to go to 2. So if you do just a regular on-trigger enter, yeah, you can trigger the scene, depending on which collider box you touch on scene 1, but if you have multiple entrances, if you touch this box, you might end up right here. We don't want that. We want to be able to specify where these are. And we're going to do this with tags like A and B. And so if you hit the scene transition over here, which is titled A, it should take you over here as a scene destination for 1A. So that is what we're going to create. So how do we do this? Well, very simple. We have transition point and scene destination. Now, as you can see, these scripts are completely empty. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on one. And I actually have Visual Studio open from my other project, which I was currently working in. I just decided to go ahead and just take a break from that because I am just burnt out on it. Plus, I just got off work, so... the first thing we will, let's see, the first thing we're going to need is, let's see, well, I know we're going to need a Collider 2D because we're using sprites and we are going to be using Rigid Body 2Ds along with Collider 2D, so we will need that. So let's go ahead and have a require component type. So we're going to say require component, and we'll say type of, and from there, we're actually going to specify a Collider 2D. And so now that we have done that, we need to go ahead and do a transition type. And we're going to do a public enum for this. So let's go ahead and type in public enum transition type. Do our swirly brackets. We're going to say different zone. Different non-gameplay scene, and then we'll say same scene, and leave that there for now. We may need to add to it. So now is what we need to do is we actually need to do like when we're going to transition. So we'll go ahead and create another public enum, and we'll say transition when, and let's see, we're going to want interact pressed on trigger enter, and let's see, we may also do one as an external call, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in just in case. So let's see, well, we know that we're going to have to transition the player. That's actually a game object, so we're going to say public game object, and this will be transitioning game object. Let's see, well, we already specified transition type, so let's go ahead and type that in real quick. We'll say public transition type, transition type. See what else. Well, we need to do this scene name as well, so let's go ahead and do public string Let's go ahead and do new scene name. Let's see. We're actually going to need a few more than that. Let me go ahead and... I'm actually going to delete these spaces. I don't know why I keep doing that. I keep thinking, okay, I should be able to... Nope, we need this. So let's see. What else do we need after scene name? Well, we're going to be doing a destination tag. And this destination tag will actually... Scene transition destination tag, which will create... we'll actually create that a little later on. So we're going to get a red squiggly line. Transition destination tag is what we will call it. Like I said, we'll edit this in just a little bit. So we're gonna have errors on this one because I'm also thinking about the scene transition destination, which is what I'm calling right here. I'm actually going to be calling this script. So I can go ahead and get that one pulled up here, just to have it up here for future reference. Let's see, we're also going to need a transition point, so let's go ahead and say public transition point, and we're going to say destination trans from. Let's see. Oh, transition when, so we'll need a public transition when, and let's go ahead and call this just transition when. Luckily, y'all won't have to worry about typing any of this stuff because these will be scripts that are already available for you. I think we're ready to start. Let me think about this. Oh, no, we're not. We actually need to reset the input value. So whenever the person transitions, this will actually reset input values, and therefore they won't keep like velocity or something like that. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll say public bool and reset input values on transition. And let's go ahead and set this to true. Let's see. I don't think... Let's go ahead and do one more bool, and we'll call this transitioning game object present. So this will just set to a true or false value. I think that should be good. Yeah, it should be good. Let's go ahead and do the start method group. Let's go ahead and get this started at the very least. We're going to say if transition when. We're going to want that one. So we need to say transition when dot external call, and we're going to say transitioning game object present equals true, and that should be all we need for that, I think. We're definitely going to need odd trigger enter because we are going to use triggers to do the transition. So let's go ahead and type in on trigger enter. Now here's the thing. This on trigger enter is for 3D objects. We don't want that. We actually want the 2D object right here. And the reason why, because whenever you're dealing with sprites, they actually have their own rigid bodies, which has their own physics engine, and it's different from the 3D engine. On top of that, the colliders that they use are all 2D based. So that's why we're going to be doing a lot of 2D instead of just regular on trigger enter, on collision enter, on collision stay, on trigger stay, or whatever. All those will be 2D. Same thing with the rigid body. So the rigid body will actually be rigid body 2D, and for the name we could just call it RB2D. So where was... oh, yes. So we need to see if the game object is the one that is transitioning. So we'll say if other dot game object equals transitioning game object, then is what we will do. Why did I say other? It's not other. We actually need collision. I'm so used to typing. You know what? Actually, I'm going to type in other right here. And I'm going to switch this over because I am so used to typing other for triggers and collision for actual colliders. So I'm actually going to keep that and make it a little easier on myself. So we actually need to say transition game object present. So we need to set that to true. Let's see. The next thing we'll need to do is something else, maybe? I'll have to think about that one for a second. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like we are going to have to do something else there. I just don't know what. And so that's why I'm kind of like, maybe. Let's see. Oh, on-trigger exit. We will need an on-trigger exit. On-trigger exit 2D. Once again, I'm going to change this to other. And we're going to say if... Get your parentheses right, Jimmy. Other dot game object equals transitioning game object. We will then say this is going to be equal to false because we are no longer transitioning. So let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to add in there. I don't think there is. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think there is. Let's see, what else do we need? Actually, yes, we also need a... Let's go ahead and do a protected for this, because I don't think we're going to really need to be editing it or anything like that. So we'll say transition internal. And for this, we're going to say if transition type, let's see, equals transition type dot same scene, then we're going to say game object. Let's see, we're going to need to teleport it. So we don't have that yet, so I'll have to add that in. No biggie. Teleporter dot teleport, and this will actually be the transitioning game object destination transform dot transform. So this is what will actually move our game object to the what is it called? It'll move our game object to where we want it to be. Let's see. I'm going to need to go ahead and do a scene controller. So I'm going to say else, if I can type. And I'm going to say scene controller dot transition to scene this, which would be the script. Do I need an update? I don't think I need an update. So I'm actually debating if I want to do a transitioning game object present. Like if it is, then it'll just return. So nothing is going to happen. But actually we do need one because we have this up here for interact pressed. So actually we do need an update. So we're going to say update. And for the update, we're going to say if transition game object, we actually need to say if this is false. Then is what we'll do is we'll just say return. And then we'll have an if statement for transition when. Let's see, transition when. And we will make that to transition when dot interact pressed. And is what we want to do is we want to say if input dot get key up key code dot up arrow. We're actually going to add another set of... No! There we go. We're actually going to have another set, or input dot get key up key code dot w. So I'm going to... I totally screwed that up somewhere, didn't I? Oh. I didn't need those. Jolly good. So, is what this is doing is I'm saying, okay, if someone presses... There we go. If someone presses the up arrow or they press W on the keyboard, then they're interacting with it. If they are interacting with it, is what we'll do is we'll say game object... No. I need to do the transition internal, because I can just call this right here to do the game object teleporter. So that's the way we will do that. Should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. So is what we're going to do now is public void what am I missing? Trigger enter, transition internal, update start. I think I got everything. I think I got everything. I don't know for sure. Or wait a minute. I have transition internal, but I need probably still gonna need a transition. So I'm going to go ahead and do one real quick, just in case. I'm actually going to copy my update, because I can use that just as easily to have it call a... basically, I can have it call the update and have it do that. I'm also going to want to do it for the on-trigger enter as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. So we're going to say if transition when equals, and we're going to say transition when dot on trigger enter. We're just going to say, let's see, I think this needs to be transition internal. That's what it is. Okay, now I'm sure you notice I didn't put swirly brackets. You don't need it, because if you only have one line of code, you don't need swirly brackets. This is a form of shorthand. If you have 2 or more lines of code, then you do have to have swirly brackets. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I think that's it. So let's see, we have destination tag that we'll need to create. And we have the transitioning game object. So we'll need that. And then let's go ahead and start with that and see what all we can do. So every single one of my scripts, you always see me delete that crap in the middle. We don't want it. We don't need it. We don't like it. We are using Unity events, so we'll say using Unity engine dot events. Yay! All right. So let's see. Well, I said earlier on that Paint program that I want to be able to tag it as A, B, C, or whatever. So let's go ahead and create a public enum, and we'll call this destination tag. So this way it matches what we had earlier. A, B, C. I'm going to go ahead and do just a few more letters. There we go. If I knew my alphabet, that would really help. So this will give us 6 transitions. If we need to add more, we can. I don't think we will, because A would be up, B would be down, C would be left, D would be right, and then E and F would be like if there are 2 passes, say a high pass and a low pass. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be up, down, left, or right. I'm just using those as examples. But I think that should be good. Should be. So let's go ahead and create the destination tag. Destination tag. And let's see. Oh, transitioning game object. So we'll need to say public game object, and this will be transitioning game object. We'll need a Unity event, so Unity event, and this will be on reach destination. So that should be it. Oh, I got 2 errors. Oh, why? Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing something. Let me go ahead and pause the video, and it's got to be something stupid and something simple. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to try and figure this out, and I'll start the video once I figure it out. Alright, so I feel like a dumbass. I created these, and I'm trying to figure out, why isn't this working? I shouldn't have these errors. This is because your dumbass fearless team leader forgot to create the scripts for them. So that's entirely my fault. So let's go and create these scripts real quick. So we're going to need a game object teleporter. Now that error should go away. And it does not. Well, either way, we need a scene controller. So let's go ahead and create that real quick. Scene controller. Yay. So we should have both of those now. Let's go ahead and pull them up. I'm going to load up this one. And let's see. We're looking at the transition point. So we're going to start with game object teleporter because we need a teleport. So game object teleporter. So I'm going to say public void teleporter. And now this teleport. Jimmy, get your shit together. Okay, so now this should go. Well, it won't go away because we don't have the oh, what is that called? We don't have that in there, so you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to go at this head on like I've been doing, so this way we can just get it out of the way, because I'm sure that's what y'all are waiting for, is for me to get my crap together and get this done. First thing we do is we need to create a public static instance of it, so let's go ahead and do that. Object teleporter, and we'll say instance, and if instance does not equal null, we're going to say return instance. Am I missing something? Am I really that tired? I am that tired. Okay, you know what? It matters not. It'll go away here in a second, I'm sure. So we'll say instance. Pretty sure that's what I want. And see, now I'm starting to second guess myself. A lot of it because I'm super tired. That is really killing me. Why is this? I'm sure someone is going to be watching this and they're just like, hey, Jimmy, you forgot something. I'm just like, yeah, I know. I'm trying to fix. You dumbass. Watch this. Because we need to get the instance of it first before we can even do anything. So, yeah, I don't. Although I'm really shocked that these aren't going away, but I do not care because I know we're going to need these. Instance. I don't know why this keeps doing that. I want a lowercase. I want to say does not equal null. Return instance. Am I missing something here? I feel like I am missing something. I'm missing something very, very simple that I'm just like, what the hell? I haven't defined it. have not defined it yet. That's why protected static game object teleporter instance. Jim, you dumbass. Okay, so where was I? Find the object of type, and if it does not, then we'll return. Let's go ahead and do the game object teleporter, and that will be new game object, and this will be object teleporter, because why not? Let's see. Oh, we need to find the instance. So we'll say instance. If it did have to return, we'll say it equals game object teleporter, and this will be add component game object teleporter. So is what's going on here? Oh wait. There we go. Is what's going on here is if it doesn't equal null, it'll return the instance. And then it'll say otherwise, it's basically going to be like, if it is null, it completely ignores this and it says, hey, this instance, you need to find this object. Then it'll check to see again if there is an instance of it. If it is, it returns and gets out of this. Otherwise, it says the game object is going to be a new game object, and this is the string name. This is what it's going to be called. And then the instance will equal that, and it'll actually add the component of this script, and then it'll return to get out of this. So that's at least the idea on how it should work. I'm hoping I'm right about that. I think that's how we need to do it. This should be the way we need to do it. So I'm going to let's see. Well, I know we're going to need a transitioning, so public static, because we need to set this as a bool. Transitioning. If I can spell, which I cannot, I'm so tired right now. So we'll need to do something. We need to get, and we'll return the instance, which is up here, game object teleporter. And what are we going to get? I guess we'll just call it. Well, we're gonna have to call it something else besides that because we've already named that. So we'll say be transitioning. If I can type, that would be just awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and create a bool down here, and we're going to do another protected bool, and this will be transitioning. Oh yeah. Let's see. Well, now it comes into a question. Well, what if there are multiple of these? Well, if there are multiple of these, we need to destroy them. So we're going to say void awake. Really, Unity? Really? If instance does not equal this, meaning this script particularly, we will say destroy, and we are destroying the game object that this script is attached to that is extra, and we will return let's see. Oh, otherwise we want to say don't destroy on load, and we'll say game object. So that should, yeah, that should work. So basically it'll destroy, if the instance does not equal this script, then it'll destroy that entire game object, but otherwise it will not destroy this game object on load, meaning it will stay inside every single scene. So that should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's see, we need to do a public static void teleport. We're going to say transition point, because we're actually calling this script up here, and we'll just say transition. I swear, Unity hates me today. There's no other explanation for it. When you say transform, we'll say this, destination transform equals instance dot get destination, I think. Yeah, we'll set it for that for now. Transition point dot transition destination tag. Let's see. Will that work? Will that work? So get the destination, transition point, transition destination tag. No, it will not, because we need a transform on it. That should work, so let's go ahead and do a coroutine. Instance, let's see. Instance dot start coroutine. We need the transition, so instance dot transition. Now we don't have this yet, so I'll have to create this. Is there anything? I'm going to go ahead and create the IEnumerator real quick, because as of right now, I don't know what all I'm going to need. So, IEnumerator. And you can see that as I'm typing this up, I'm just going to call this transition. As I'm typing this up, I am literally just coming up with the stuff off the top of my head, like, what do I need to make this work? Essentially, scripting is the exact same thing. Like, what do you need to get it to work? So I know I need the game object, and this will just be transitioning game object. We have the release control. Let's see. Oh, we're also resetting the input values. And let's see. Oh, the position, which is a vector 2. It's probably a vector 2, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do a vector 3, just to be on the safe side. Destination position. And if y'all played Hollow Knight, you know that when, even Ori and the Blind Forest, when they go to the end of a scene, it fades out and then fades in. I think I want that. So let me go ahead and just do it as a bool. This way we can kind of like decide later on. So that should be all we need for that. Which means I now have to define all of this. Yay. Alright, let's get started. So we have instance of the transition, and we have the transition point. Let's see. Which that's actually going to be transitioning game object. So transitioning game object. Let's see, release control, we'll set that to true. And then we have transition point, which will be reset input values on transition. Destination transform dot transform? No. That will be dot position. Yes, dot position. And, oh, fade. We want that to be true. I think that's it. Why am I getting really... Okay, where did I screw up at? Let's see. Well, that's at the end, so that tells me... Oh. Yay. Go away. There we go. Oh. I think that'll work. I hope that will work. Let me think for just a second. I'm actually going to create 2 more public static void for the teleport. One for the transform destination and the other for the vector 3 destination position. So for this one we have game object. This is transitioning game object. So I want to create one for the transform of the destination. And this will be instance dot start coroutine. Say instance dot transition. Let's see, instance transition. I need the transitioning game object. For the destination, let's go and set this to false. False. This will be the destination dot position and fade. That will be set to false. Let's see. So I'm going to need another one. So essentially I should just be able to copy this. I did it again. Chip, you dumbass. Okay. So Control C. We'll still, let's see. No, I actually think this needs to be a vector 3 as well, because that's what we're specifying so far, and I just want to make sure all this works. And this will be the... What did I say this was? Oh, destination position. Nation position. And this should just be destination position. Does that work? I think that would be good. So let's go and get rid of this red squiggly, because I think it's starting to piss me off. Let me think. So, well, transitioning. That's going to be the first thing that the player is doing. Be transitioning. That will equal true. So we have a bool for fade, so let's go ahead and specify it. If fade yield return man, I'm gonna need a fade script for this, aren't I? Yes. I'll do one in a minute. So I'm just going to say start coroutine, fade script. What do I want to call this method group? You know what? Let's just call it fade out. And that should be good for that. Should be. Let's see. Transitioning game object. Let's see. So we need to set this one's position. We actually need to set this to the destination position. So let's go ahead and do that. Transform dot position, and that will equal destination position. Let's go ahead and do another if fide. This will be the same thing, but this one will be return. This one will actually be a fade in, so let's go ahead and set that up. fade script dot fade in. I'm not going to show you the fade out or the fade in because that's like super simple. I'm just showing you these because lol. So if it does do the fade in, we're going to say B transitioning equals false. Okay, so that should work. Will that work? We still don't have the get destination. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. Get destination. So I'm actually going to say protected. Use scene transition destination. This will be get destination. What am I getting the destination of? Oh, the tags. What do I want to call the tags? Destination tags? I mean, sure, why not? Let's see, this is going to be scene data transition. This will be destination tag, and we'll just call this destination tag. Alright, so what do I want for this? Well, we need the entrances of it, so let's go ahead and do that. Scene transition destination. Oh, wait, this needs to be an array. Entrances equals find objects of. Here we go. Find objects of type. It's plural. I'm going to do scene destination. I want to find all of that. For int I equals 0, I is less than entrances dot length I plus plus. Let's see what else. Let's see. We need to set those tags. Can I just do? No, I can't do it that way. How do I want to do this? How do I need to do this? So if we set the tags that way, do I want to do it with a... I'd have to do it with a for loop. Let's see. Guys, your fearless leader is thinking, I promise. I just feel like an old Pentium 4 processor right now. I think what I need to do is create an if statement. So I actually need to check the entrances. And that'll be I, and do the destination tag. Make that equal to the destination tag. And need 2 equal signs. Awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and just return it. I hope that works. Oh, we need to return. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and make a warning that will pop up. This way, if it's tagged wrong, y'all will get a warning down at the bottom. Make it a little easier to debug.log. Actually, I don't want to do a log warning. I want to do a straight up error. This way, it's like, hey, you screwed up. Whoever you are, fix it. Let's see. No entrance was found. Let me also specify the destination tag. Was found with the destination tag. Let's see. Okay, why is this? Okay, so there we go. It should just be the fade scripts that are coming up. And we still need the get destination, so I'll need to do that. Yeah, definitely need to do that. I also still need to create a scene controller. So you know what? I'm going to start with the scene controller first, and it's going to look a lot like this. Let's see, collections, generic. Well, we need to use a system, I know that. What else? Unity engine dot scene management. Oh, okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Public static. This will be scene controller. This will be instance. Just going to set that for now. I'm going to go ahead and what was the, oh, that's right, I didn't have an instance. I'm going to say protected static scene controller instance. I'll go and create that real quick. Get if instance is not equal null, return instance equals find object of type, and this will be scene controller. If instance is not equal null, now we need to say return instance, and then we will define it by saying, I'm just going to say create. No! There we go. And then we'll say return instance. I'm actually going to go ahead and create a thing, a method group for this, so this way it'll work, hopefully. Yeah, so we'll just work off of that. Hopefully, hopefully all this will work. So I'm like super tired, and I don't want to have to sit there and try to figure this out. We'll need to do the same thing we did. Public static bool, and this will be called transitioning get return instance dot I don't have a transitioning. Well, this is going to be a bool, so that's what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to do transitioning if I can type, which apparently I can't, so that's awesome. Let's see. You know what? We need to go ahead and do the create, so I'm going to say public static scene controller create. That's how you know I'm tired. I'm doing semicolons after whatever, it doesn't matter. Game object controller game object equals new game object. This will be scene controller. And then we have instance equals scene controller game object dot add component, and this will be scene controller. Oh wait, I forgot something. There we go. Man, we're gonna have to create a few variables in here. So let's go ahead and link this to the scene transition destination. Transition destination. Initial scene transition destination. I was debating if I was just going to leave that typo in there or not, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fix it. Oi. That's why you don't start smoking, kids. Let's see. We need to define the scene. The current scene. Protected. Scene. Current scene. We also need to do the destination tag. So let's say protected scene transition dot destination tag, and this will be let's see, how do I want to call this? I want to call this scene destination tag. That's the best I can come up with. Sorry, guys. Protected bool, and this will be B transitioning. That red squiggly should go away, and it did. Yay. Why am I still... why do I still have a red... oh. Jimmy, you dumbass. Where was I? Oh, we need to define the last place the player was at, so let's go ahead and do that. Public scene, last scene. It's going to create an awake. If instance does not equal this, then destroy game object, return. Don't destroy on load. Game object. Ooh, someone messaged me. One second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Oh, I love being a lead game designer for an organization. It's so awesome. So where were we on this? Oh, yes, I remember now. We actually need to define if it is if it's the initial scene transition destination or not. So initial scene transition destination does not equal null, then we will do something. Probably gonna need to go and create some new things. What do I want to call this? Set entering. What do I want to call this? Object location. That's the best I can come up with, guys. Give me a break. Initial scene transition destination. That's what we'll say. Why not? Initial scene transition. We'll say on reach destination. Invoke. Else. Man, this is a lot of typing. When you say current scene equals scene manager dot get active scene, and we're going to say no, I actually want to say how do I want to do this? I think I'm actually going to need to do the up here, the scene destination tag. I think that's what I need to do. Scene destination tag equal scene transition destination, and this will be destination tag dot a. So this will just set as like a, I guess kind of like a default. So, well, we'll need to restart the zone. Let's go ahead and do that. Public static void restart scene, zone, scene, whatever. Bool reset health, that will equal true. We may end up changing this later on. For now, I'm just kind of throwing it in here. Instance dot start coroutine dot I'm gonna have to actually create a coroutine, same as I did for the other. So don't know what I'm gonna want for it just yet. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and create it real fast. So this will be protected, i.e. numerator, transition, string, cname, bool, head values, scene, transition, destination dot destination tag, and we need to find that as destination tag. What else? Transition point. Transition point dot transition type. Oh, I'm so glad that comes up. We need the different something. Different scene. See, I've been using scene way too much. I'm going to say zone this time, because I am tired. Just because. We'll leave it at that. So we have that set in there. So at least now I have something to kind of like, what is it? I have something to kind of like work off of, and that's all I really want. It's just something to work off of. So we have the transition. Instance dot current scene dot name. So that's going to be what we're going to do. Reset input values, that will be true. And for the destination tag, we'll say instance dot restart, I think. Scene destination tag, that's what I want, I think. I may have to go through these later on, because this may or may not work. I'm like super tired. For that, guys, I apologize. Let's see. Transition point, transition type. Those are the last. Transition point dot transition type. Thank God for that. Different zone. Be gone with you. I want that. I'm so going to need to get that later on. We do need a transition to scene. Let's go ahead and do that. Public static void. This will be transition to scene, and this will be the transition point, and this will be transition point. Let me think. Instance dot start coroutine. Instance dot transition And this will be transition point. Once again, I apologize for the dog in the background. Dot something. New scene name. Transition point. Dot reset input values on transition. Destination tag. Dot transition point destination tag. And what was the other thing we had in there? We had one other thing in there. I don't remember what it was. Oh, the transition type. So we need to do transition point dot transition type. Be gone with you. So let's go ahead and do the get destination from tag. Public static scene transition destination get destination from tag. What do I want? Well, first I need to call it, so let's go ahead and do that. Scene transition destination dot destination tag, and we'll just call this destination tag. You know, one of these days it'd be really nice if that actually selected the other one. We'll just return instance of get destination tag. I'm losing track of what else I need to create. Ugh. If it's alright with you guys, I'm going to do the IEnumerator real quick. So we'll need to say transitioning. I'll need to equal true. Let's see. Yield return scene manager dot load scene async, and this will be new scene name. Scene, what was that called? Oh, scene transition destination. We'll say entrance, and that will equal something. Get destination. This will just be destination tag. Set. I'm gonna have to create this. I'm definitely gonna need to create this. Crap. I'm gonna go ahead and create that real quick. Let's see. Probably protected. Check location. I'm going to give it something very specific because I'm losing track of everything else. Scene transition destination. We'll call this entrance. So I'm just going to keep that there. Control C. And this will be entrance. Man, that dog is so annoying. It really is. So let's see, this will be setup new scene. Going to need a transition type. I know that. I know I'm going to need a transition type. So transition type and entrance. I think that will work. I really need to do this one now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. If first I wanted to see if entrance is null or not. Entrance equals null, which basically just means it ain't there. Let's see. We need to do the transform. Entrance location. Entrance something. Oh, it's a transform, so probably just transform. Well, we do the same thing with the game object, so let's go ahead and do that. Why am I doing a dot? That makes absolutely no sense, Jimmy. Entrance. Oh, wait. Not location. Transform. That'll be entrance dot transition game object dot transform. There we go. Let's go ahead and do the position and rotation. So entering entering transform dot position equals entrance location dot position, and we're just going to copy this. We're going to say rotation equals rotation. Man, I cannot believe how many red errors I have. Joy. Wow. Okay. So, let's go ahead and... What was the other thing we had? Oh, set up a new scene. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Protected void. Set up new scene. This will be transition point. Transition point. We need to specify a transition type, so let's go ahead and do that. And this will be transition type. Hey! Scene, transition, destination. This will be entrance, because that's what we've been calling it, so why not? And I got another message, so I'll be right back, you guys. So I'm now noticing that this video is over an hour long ass video, I know, but I'm also dealing with one of the guys in my organization, so I'm going to pause, or I'm actually going to stop the recording here, and part 2 is where I'll finish up on this stuff. I'll see y'all there.